What's the secret to making crispy golden brown latkes? Ask your bubby. Or join me and my expert guest in the kitchen. Just in time for the first night of Hanukkah, we're frying up latkes and talking tradition today on Across the Fence. Hello, Vermont. If you've never had a latke before, you are in for a treat. Although, apologies, as amazing as WCAX is, we still haven't figured out how to get the latke off your screen and onto a plate in your living room. So you'll have to try this recipe for yourself later at home. We are giving you the recipe. And since Hanukkah starts Sunday at sundown, what better time? Joining me today to reveal her latke making secrets is a brand new bubby, Natalie Newer. You may remember Natalie from our show on the UVM Lane series. She's the director. But Natalie also teaches a hands-on cooking class at UVM that explores the Jewish diaspora in 20 recipes. When I was a grad student in the foods lab, I was once her TA.
Yes.
So we've come full circle. So Natalie, welcome. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
I am very excited to be doing this today because when you get an expert who can show you all of their secret tips about making something like a latke, that's gold. Also, I would like to acknowledge Natalie's amazing shirt.
Dr. Dreidel.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so and maybe if we have time, we'll even talk about traditions. You're going to teach me about spinning the dreidel. Great. So let's start off. Not everyone may know what a latke is. So what is a latke?
A latke, it's very simple. It's a potato pancake. It has maybe 4 ingredients. And you could equate it to a hash brown.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
hash brown's like the closest analog.
It is, because the potatoes are grated. That's sort of the key piece.
Right.
You would say maybe a potato pancake would be, you could make a potato pancake out of mashed potatoes, but that's not a latke.
That's true. In fact, actually, probably the biggest difference between like a German potato pancake
Yes.
is that you don't grate the potato, you like almost make a pulp out of it.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
correct.
So different
Right.
texture.
Yes.
Because in the end, we want shredded, crispy,
Yes.
lots of edges.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, I love that. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. All right, okay. And why are these a part of the Hanukkah table?
Well, Hanukkah, which means dedication,
Okay.
is about the taking back of the temple in Jerusalem from the Syrian Greeks who had taken it over, and by the Maccabees, a tribe who were sort of, badass.
They would wear this shirt?
Yes, no. Anyway, they took back the temple and rededicated it to the Jewish people. And so the miracle of Hanukkah is that there was only enough sort of holy sacred oil to last one day at that rededication. But lo and behold, it lasted 8 days, which is how long it took
Which is how
them
we
to
get
get
the
more
8
oil.
nights of Hanukkah.
Right,
And the lighting
correct.
of the candles. And so the lighting of the
Correct.
candles commemorates the
Correct.
miracle of the oil?
That's correct.
Ah, okay.
And so at Hanukkah, we eat oily foods.
Oily foods.
So,
Gosh, I love a holiday that means you get to eat oily foods. Like, I want to do that.
But I will say one thing is that a lot of Jewish holidays, and maybe this is true in other religions too, actually, I'm sure it is, the food is sort of a edible mnemonic. It's a way to teach your children in a pleasurable way the meaning of a holiday. So you remember
I'm all for it.
Oily food, lights,
Yeah.
the oil, the temple, etc.
I love it. Okay, so let's start making some latkes.
Sure.
So we have some potatoes, and we're starting with, we have russet potatoes. Is that the right potato to use?
Yes, you want russets because you want a starchy potato.
You want a starchy potato.
You could use a Yukon Gold, but russet's best.
Right, not though like a red potato.
No, never.
Not enough starch. Okay,
Right.
right. So we want russet potatoes. It's 2 pounds in the recipe. This is obviously not 2 pounds,
Correct.
but I just wanted to give us a look at that. And we're going to use which part of the grater?
I would use the large holes of the box grater and just get your elbow grease in.
Okay, so this
and
is
you would
where-
do this into a bowl, but we already have it.
Yeah, we already have it, and of course, if this is strenuous. So this is like maybe we're bringing the grandkids in, or
Yes,
put them
and
to
you
work.
can use a food processor.
And you can use a food processor. Because I
Yes.
think you said too, this is like this is something the family gathers together to
Yes,
do. So
you have
there's
a latke
jobs for
party.
everybody.
Yes.
Jobs for, okay, so we have our shredded potato.
Yes, pre-shredded potatoes. So the trick is you got to get the moisture out of these potatoes,
Yeah,
or
because
you'll
they're
have
really
a
wet.
leaden latke, right?
Right, okay.
So the way I do it is I do sort of the first round with my hands. So I'm just going to press.
Oh yeah, and you can
sorry.
see how much liquid comes right out of there.
So much liquid comes
Okay.
out, right?
So we
and then
do-
you press it and then put it into a tea towel, which
Okay.
will be sort of your second
Second way that
yes.
we're getting
and
the moisture
potato
out of it.
is flying all over the place.
But that's part of the fun.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
what's a
not
cooking
exactly
adventure if
a
it doesn't involve a,
neat-
oh wow, look at. Okay, and so as you get deeper into the bowl where it's been sitting in some of its own moisture
Yes.
the whole time, it can see it gets a
and
little
I
wetter
will tell
and
you
wetter.
that if it takes you a while to fry them for whatever reason, you're going to get more moisture in the batter too. So at that point, I usually try to like press it out with a spoon before I actually form the latke.
And so this is the don't skip it step.
Yeah,
right?
and there are a few like hacks for this. People do it in a salad spinner.
Oh, okay.
I've never done that, but it does make sense.
Sure,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
Just the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's good enough.
Yeah,
So we've got that.
All right.
And then we're going to
And we're going to save this liquid because this is one of your secret steps.
Yes. So we're going to just roll that up in the towel. See, if you did this right in the towel, you'd kind of overwhelm the towel.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that maybe works better if you're doing something like spinach, right?
Yes.
Like sauteing, trying to get the moisture out of spinach or
Right.
zucchini,
Right.
but this is bulky.
So not much. We did a pretty good job with hands. So there's not much coming out, but it is coming on the towel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So now you're going to pop that into your bowl where you've grated an onion.
Okay. So we had one onion and we just grated that onion on the same box grater.
Yeah.
It doesn't shred nicely. It makes more like a pulp, right? But that's no big deal. So we've got our shredded potato.
Yes.
And we're mixing it with the onion, and then we're adding.
It's 1 egg per pound, so this is 2 eggs for 2 pounds.
Okay.
These were big eggs. I'm going to add a little less.
Yeah, got to eyeball your eggs.
2 tablespoons. This is matzo meal, which is fabulous, but you absolutely can use flour or breadcrumbs.
Okay.
There's no problem.
It's adding a little binding?
It's soaking up more of the moisture.
It's soaking up most of the moisture. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I'd go about a teaspoon of salt, kosher salt, but you could use any kind of salt.
Okay.
And grind in some pepper, but avoid gilding the lily here. Like, don't be like, oh, something green would be nice.
I know. There's a part of me that I'm like, we could add chives.
Right.
No. Okay, keep it simple.
One thing that I have added in the past, because it sort of goes with this kind of food, is nutmeg.
Nutmeg. Okay, I could see that.
You could do it.
That little extra little bit of spice flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're mixing this up. You could do this with your hands. If you like, but
so it makes a loose mixture. It's not too. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not
can
super
people
cohesive.
see?
Yeah, it's not like a batter. You're not making pancake batter.
No, you're
right?
not.
So that when you held back on the amount of egg you were adding because you knew that these were slightly larger eggs.
Yeah.
You were thinking to yourself already that was going to make it too soupy. We don't want soupy.
Can I say you also can't mess this up?
You also can't. Okay, good. And then is this the point where you add a little bit of that starch water?
So so this is sort of a family trick, but I don't think it's uncommon. I think people do it. If you really want something that holds together, a thing you can do is pour off the liquid that you just got. And what's left in the bowl is this sort of clay-like.
Yeah. And
it's a very
foamy.
interesting texture.
I'm sticking my fingers in there. I feel it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, not bad.
Potato starch.
Okay.
So this potato starch has a little liquid in it. It's because it didn't sit long enough. So I'm going to be careful about that.
So adding just a bit of it.
Yeah. So add just a bit of it. If you want a really open, lacy pancake, don't do it.
Okay.
But if you want something more solid because you're going to serve smoked salmon on it, or it needs to last a little longer before it's eaten, then do it. Okay, so now we're at our fryer.
Okay.
We're
at the time, just so you know, we have about 5-ish minutes.
Okay, so you're going to add about a 1/4 inch or a little less of oil.
And I used, since canola oil is in here, what's the traditional frying oil?
Peanut canola. You want a neutral high smoke point oil.
High smoke point oil. Okay.
I use an ice cream scoop to make a nice latke. You should probably throw in a piece to make sure your oil's hot enough. But this is great.
Yeah, we've got it
and
right.
then you're just going to do that. Also, I'm using cast iron. Partially because this is induction, but cast iron is great for this.
Because it keeps things at a nice hot temperature.
Yeah, it does. I actually, when I made them last night, I have new all-clads, and I used that, and
Which
it was
is a stainless steel pan, heavy bottom stainless
3
steel
levels,
pan.
right. And it was great. But I will say that it was hard to get the sort of brownish potato-ness off my all-clad.
Well, cast iron pans, I would say gold standard for cooking. If you've got one and frying, well seasoned, you've been treating it with love and care all this time. I see we just put it up. The recipe is online. You can go to go.uvm.edu/latkes. That's going to get you to Natalie's secret recipe.
You can press it down a little.
Okay.
The ice cream scoop makes a sort of rounded latke, but the flatter you make it, the quicker it'll cook. A couple tips. Sometimes you have to play with the temperature. You don't want it to cook too fast. You'll get a burnt outside, but you won't get that creamy inside.
Yeah, okay.
So you need to, you need to sort of play with the temperature. This was up. I just turned it down a little.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how long it's going to take aside. It depends on a million elements, but you
million
can
elements.
peek.
Yeah, you can peek. Well, and we can, you watch the edges. That's what I would always tell students. You're looking for the edges. You want to be sure that you see. One thing you don't want is nothing happening in the pan, right?
Right.
Like your heat's too low if you're not seeing a nice kind of bubbling activity around the edges of your latkes.
And
that's the case.
I will say sometimes you get a kind of really dark, sort of uneven color. That means you've gone too hot.
Okay. Yes. Which but that's amazing. We don't want to burn them.
No,
yeah,
and
that's
you don't.
Not part of the tradition.
Right, and you don't want that raw inside, which you'll get.
Okay, so 3 to 5. This actually looks like it wants to go up because, of course, your temperature drops when you add the cold latkes into it. So always keep that in mind when you're frying. Yes, the temperature will drop, so you might need to raise it a little bit in order to get that vigorous back.
And then to know when to turn them, just peek.
Just peek. Okay. So we're waiting until nope, not yet. So we've got probably 3 to 5-ish minutes, depending on your oil. We're watching that. We're going to flip them. We do them again for the same amount of time, and then finish latkes.
Yes, finish latkes. So
and we've set up a just so folks know, we set up a little baking sheet, paper towel, something just to be able to get that grease off.
Right, and then you can sit it in the oven.
Now they're going.
Now they're going a little fast.
All right. So let's taste.
All right. So I made these last night,
Ooh,
and they came out great.
They do. They look lovely.
There are many traditional accompaniments, but the probably most common is sour cream and applesauce.
Sour cream and applesauce. That's so delicious.
I'm more of an applesauce girl, and you know what? You can pick it up with your hand.
Okay.
Just put a little applesauce on.
All right. So let's do that. We'll put a little applesauce.
If this was burning hot, you probably wouldn't.
Let's take a taste. Oh my God. Mmm. So good.
I will say if you make a brisket or a pot roast, this is fantastic side dish. The gravy from the brisket and the pot roast is truly delicious with
Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so now that your mouth is watering, there's a link to the website right there where you can get Natalie's recipe. And in fairness, this was actually originally
This is the Mark Bittman recipe.
But the starchy potato water, that's all Natalie. So Natalie Newark, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your latke. We're going to sit here. We're going to finish cooking and eating. As always, Vermont, thank you for learning and exploring with us today. And thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.